Hello, friends. This is Kelly Palace, host of Champions Mojo, your place for better health, resilience, and master swimming. I'm taking a short break from recording new episodes of Champions Mojo for two exciting reasons. First, I'm launching my latest book, False Cure. It's a whistleblowing investigative journalism book about a denied health epidemic. If you'd like more information on that, it's in the show notes. The second and most compelling reason I'm on a break is here at Champions Mojo, we're preparing for the January 2026 reboot of powerful new weekly episodes with expert guest interviews, inspiring topics, and tips to take your mindset, health, and personal performance to the next level. We will be announcing some incredible partnerships with the show, and I guarantee what we have in store for you will empower you and keep your mojo strong in the new year. While I'm preparing some of this great stuff, we've selected some of our best shows ever for an encore series. My hope is that if this is your second time listening to this episode, you'll take away even more insight and motivation. Or if it's your first time, you'll love this episode as much as everyone else did. So settle in and enjoy this encore presentation in its entirety. I am co-hosting with Maria Parker. Hey, Maria.
Hi, Kelly. It's so great to be with you today.
Yes, before we tell you all about our special guest today, Kurt Dixon, let's welcome him to the show while he sits there. Hey, Kurt.
Hey, Kurt.
Hello, how you doing?
Great to see you.
It's
So,
great to have you, Kurt.
yes. So, a Masters athlete champion. These Masters athletes are truly amazing. They're living full lives with day jobs outside of their stellar accomplishments as athlete. And we are in the presence of someone who is a true inspiration in Kurt Dixon. He is a full-time ER physician. He has been on the front lines of COVID. We can talk with him about that a little. He said it is slowing down, but you know that he's been training hard while he's been an ER physician. His master swimming resume speaks to what a champion he is. Currently, Kurt is 54 years old, specializing in the longer freestyle events and backstroke. He's been a U.S. Masters national champion 95 times, which means 95 All-American honors. He's also a two-time FINA world record holder, 7-time USMS long distance all-star, and in 2021 in the 50 to 54 men's age group, he added his first ever pool all-star honor, which is the highest honor in U.S. Master Swimming. But there's more, isn't there, Maria?
Yes. Wow. He's not just been earning U.S. Master Swimming awards. He's also completed the highest honor in marathon swimming, known as the Triple Crown of Marathon Swimming, which, get ready, includes the swim around Manhattan, which is 28.5 miles, the English Channel crossing, 21 miles, and swimming the Catalina Channel, 20.2 miles, which in 2021, he earned the fastest time of the year in just over 9 hours. And if that wasn't enough for us, he's also a 5-time Ironman finisher. But let's not delay anymore and get to finding out what makes this incredible champion tick. Kurt Dixon, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Great to be here.
I'm so glad to have you.
Yeah, Kurt, we're just so excited. There's just millions of questions we have. We're going to start off with, how do you have time to train for such long events with a schedule of an ER physician?
It's just important enough to me to make the time. I work a lot of weird hours. It's a different time every day. And it's hard to get into a schedule, a routine, but it's important enough to me to just kind of carve out some time to do a little bit every day.
Do you have like, even though you don't have a routine, do you have a always before work or always after work kind of thing going? Or do you just every day wake up and say, okay, today it's going to be blah, blah, blah?
I usually try to go after work because work kind of makes me sad, and I don't want to be sadder by being more tired. But I try to do it after. But I mean, if I'm like today, I'm going in about an hour or so. So I swam this morning, but I don't like to get up super early anymore. I had 20 years of that, and I don't really need it anymore. So I don't do like the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. stuff anymore. So I usually try to do it, after if I can. So
So you're going to swim twice today.
No, I'm just going to swim once today. I swam this morning and then I'm going to work in a little bit here.
Oh, so when you get off, it'll actually be tomorrow, maybe?
Well, it kind of will. It kind of will be, but I'll
Oh
probably,
my
I'd probably
gosh.
just go, since I'm tapering, I'll probably just do once today. I don't usually do a lot of 2-a-days anymore. That's the beauty of master swimming. You don't have to do 2-a-days anymore. You can do whatever you want.
So what does that look like? What is a general week of, we see that, or we hear that you're not doing, a schedule, but is there a certain number of yardage per week or a certain number of days or a certain number of pace sets, or what does that look like for you?
It's kind of varies. And my rest times are more when I have like more work. So I end up like just maybe doing more easy stuff, but I worked yesterday and till midnight or so, and then I did a taper workout. But I mean, in generally, I do 3 to 4 thousand a day, and it's mostly for me. It's mostly I actually do the same set almost 70% of the time. It's kind of a weird. It's just easy. I don't have to think about it. I just go and do the same workout a lot actually. So it's
What is that? Yeah. What
eh,
is that set?
it's not all that exciting, but I do like 3 or 4 300s like freestyle on like 4 minutes. And I try to, descend them. And then I do 3 or 4 200s backstroke on 3, just try to descend those. And then I'll do some pulling and kicking and get out mostly. That's about my general day usually.
Yeah, just to translate that, because I know there will be people that might not understand that quick jargon. So the 400s are on a 115 base, I mean, the 300s are on a 115 base, and the 200s backstroke are on a 130 base. So that's a pretty uh, tight interval for most mortals. But
Do you
yeah,
have a
Maria, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was, do you generally swim just whenever, is your pool like a Y and you just get over there and swim whenever, or there are other people around? Do you try to ever make practices with a group?
Where I'm at, there's nobody else. I lived in Phoenix for 24 years and there was nobody there either. I mean, there's places if you wanted to travel, I just never was, I sounded like I wasted a lot of time going to, 30 minutes or 45 minutes to wherever else somebody is. So I generally train alone. Some people have a hard time with that. I don't mind it as much. As a master swimmer, I can, if I don't feel great, I don't have to worry about bracing somebody. I just do what is best for me. And it takes a lot of the pressure off it and actually makes it more enjoyable for me. But some people absolutely have to have somebody else. So they won't do it. So everybody's different. But for me, I like just kind of swimming on my own.
Have you always been self-coached, or have you had a coach in the past?
As masters athlete, never. I've always just swam on my own. So I've been doing this since, I don't know, 92 or 93 or so. And I've never really had a coach. So.
Yeah. So we read kind of your master's highlights, but for your background as swimming at Brigham Young University, you were a team captain and did incredibly fast times as a college swimmer. What do you think that you carry over from your college days that have helped you as a master's swimmer?
I used to think that maybe swimming, like I used to somebody think I was maybe better at it because I worked so hard at it, but I think talent does have some role in things. I think it helps. It helps to have some background, and especially a technical sport like swimming, because I've done a lot of triathlons, and it seems like most triathletes just pretty much ignore the swim, and you can do that kind of because it's not that big of part of any triathlon, but it is you can die from it too. I think it's important to have. I've been in the first Ironman I did. It was Ironman Utah. The guy died in it. So, but I think they tend to ignore it, and I think it's helpful just to do that. For me, I used to do a lot of triathlons, and over the years, I've gotten lazy, but I just feel like I could spend 3 hours being a above average triathlete. I could spend like maybe an hour a day being one of the best in the world at master swimming. So like it just for me, I've gotten like just more focused and just I think I like to be good at something, and I really enjoy triathlon, but it just it's just so much time, and it was just better just to be good at something and just keep going with it, and not to spend too much time with it.
Do you, when you're, you do these amazingly long swims, and I do long bike rides, so I understand what that's like alone. What do you think about? Do you think about work, or do you just breathe? What do you think about when you're doing these long either practices or events?
The longer swims, you got to check out a little bit. It's the Catalina and English Channel. You're just trying to like. A lot of times I'll just blank out, or sometimes I'll just sing songs in my head, or it's variable. Sometimes you just think about little problems you have or whatever, but it's mostly checking out. I mean, you think about trying to cross the English Channel. It's about 80,000 strokes, and you just have to I remember when I was doing Catalina a few months ago, and I was just like, it's just pitch black, and you're looking. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. It's just like it's just darkness, and there's nothing to focus on. There's little critters swimming around, and it's kind of creepy. It is. You just kind of have to check out a little bit, I think. But it's one step at a time. I think that's that helps.
So that begs the question: why?
I don't think I like myself. I like to abuse myself. I'm the youngest of 7 children, and I think I've just gotten used to just beating on myself, and I don't know. It's just we're all my family's pretty competitive though, but I don't know. It must be some sort of. I think there is a mental illness I have. I'm not really sure. I haven't put my finger on it, but
you're kind of being funny, but as a physician, you do see mental illness. They walk into the ER every single day, I'm sure.
yeah.
I'd love for you to go a little bit deeper on that. Like, you keep challenging yourself with these really tough things. And one youngest of 7, but you're 54, you got nothing to prove. You've done it all, so why do you keep on, like, what's next? And why would you do that next thing?
There's an old Warren Zevon song. I'd rather feel bad than feel nothing at all. And I think that, for me, I just feel more alive when I do things. I mean, it gives me more meaning, I think, to my life. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of lame. I'm 54 and I'm in a Speedo about ready to go to nationals in a few weeks. And it's like, why does anybody care? It's like, you know what? I enjoy that. It makes me happy. So I do it. But there's probably a little of, this feeling of inadequacy that people struggle with too. You got to prove yourself, and some people have it stronger than others. And I think I have it pretty strong, and you keep wanting to prove yourself. But there is a little of I think it helps you just feel, for me, it helps me feel happy. So that's why I do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that.
Yeah. So discomfort, you like the discomfort, or like to at least be done with it, or the physical. You said I'd rather feel nothing or feel something than nothing at all. That's interesting. Okay. Go ahead, Kelly. Sorry.
Your master's resume is amazing. Is there anything within the master's community that you have not done yet that you would still like to do? Like, what's on the list?
I keep eyeing like world records that are like individual. I got some relay world records that have gone, but I'd like to get an individual one. But I eyed them like 10 years ago, and then by the time I get there, someone's like just crushed it. So I'm getting old enough that I'm getting closer. So there's one that I was looking at, maybe that I can maybe get coming up here, but I don't know. It's one of those things. There's not a lot of other things that I really want to do, but I would like to get an individual world record at some point. I'm not sure how meaningful it is when you're 110, but
Got it.
It does. It means a lot.
Outlive everyone. I'm just in the 60 age group, and I see that. It's like, okay, just keep showing up.
Yeah.
I went through your database, your USMS database, and looked at your times. And it appears to me that you are not slowing down much, if any at all. If arguably, if you took kind of an average of your 200, 500, 1,000, 1,650, you might be faster in the 500, but slower in the 200, or faster in the mile, but slower in the 1,000. But you're holding your own with these times that are pretty incredible from your 35. In fact, you have some times now at 55 that are actually faster than when you were 35, which tell us how you're continuing to maintain this fast pace.
So like I won my Twitter backstroke in 1996 with a 2:17, and I won it 20 years later with the same time. So I wish I knew the answer to it. But I like to think it's because I work hard and I'm consistent. I don't miss workouts. If I don't feel like something, if I'm having a bad day, I'll just go swim a little easy. And I usually swim 6 days a week, regardless. I don't know if that's it or God feels sorry for me, or if it's like, if I age better than other people. There are people I like would beat the crap out of me 20 years ago that I could either beat now or beat or have a good race with them or beat them pretty badly now. So I don't know. I really don't know what it is that I've done. Like I have tried to be consistent, and I don't know if that's a secret. If I just have good genes and I age better than other people. I mean, my patients used to tell me, like, not too long ago, they look like a 12-year-old, but I don't have that problem anymore. People definitely think I'm old now, but I think I might have aged a little better than other people, but I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that, but I've thought about it a lot. I can't tell you for sure what it is.
Consistency. And how about your body composition? Because I feel the same way. Like, there are women that just crushed me in 35, 40, 45. And now, they're either nowhere to be found or they're not, in the top 10 anymore. So do you think there's has your body composition changed? Has your dry land routine changed? But consistency, can you drill down a little bit on that?
Well, I mean, I wish I could say I work. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't do that I should do. Like I eat like, I like M&Ms and I eat a lot of junk, and I think I've gotten a lot fatter. I think since I was in college, I was like 150 pounds and I'm like 220 now. So I don't know how. So I like my desserts. I do go to workout a lot, but I don't do any weights. I do zero weights. So like, I've never done weights. I used to at college go to the weight room, and the coach would try to kick me out of the weight room because he didn't know the weight coach thought I was like, didn't belong there. And the other swimmers had to tell him that I was like the best swimmer on the team and you can't kick him out. It was a good place for naps for me. I think for me, I do almost the same set every day. I go every day, but as a master's person, I guess I could have been more regimented, but I don't think I have been. So I don't, other than just trying to make it to work out every day, not miss any swimming, I don't do anything else special.
No secrets. My
Sorry.
question, or you're covering. My question for you is, you mentioned sleep earlier, and I've had the exact same progression. I used to give up sleep to get up in the morning and work out because I think I'd have a better day if I did that. Now I don't. I get more rest. Would you talk to us about your sleep patterns? Because as a ER physician, I know that must be a little bit unusual. And how do you protect your sleep?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I was till midnight last night, and then I'm working till midnight tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm working, the next day I'm working till 7 a.m. I'm working all night for 3 nights. And then I got to somehow recover before nationals next week. And as you get older, it is impossible. It's like you feel, I'm not bad the day after a night shift that day, but the day after I swim slow, and I end up a lot of times getting swim meets arranged that it ends up I'm there, but I just try to do the best I can. But I'll try to like take naps before work. Today's going to be an exception because I'm spending a lovely time here, but I take a lot of naps, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'll try to just like, we got this family thing we're going to go do, or we're going to do this. I'm like, you know what? I got to go to work in an hour, and I just need to lie down for a half hour, just relax. But so it's hard, and it gets harder as you get older because it's harder to sleep. I think most old people, like I wake up 3 or 4 times a night to go number one, and it's tragic. It's hard to get back to sleep, and I don't know how people do it, but I do the best I can. But for me, a lot of it's just try to take naps when I can. But
How about injuries? Yeah. What have you had any injuries, or, if so, what does that look like?
I've had some, shoulder issues, and I try to do like every day or every other day, I'll do like some shoulder rehab type stuff that everybody probably knows about, but, that's helped. And I kind of changed my stroke a little bit so that I don't impinge my shoulder as much. I've had some back issues. I try to do yoga like once a week, just I think that's out of all the things I do, I think that helps the most for my back. So I try to do like just shoulder exercises and that. I mean, sometimes I think the other thing with performance is like some of my best meets, I like hurt my shoulder like 2 or 3 weeks before the big race, and I'll just like kick and just minimize the amount of swimming. And I'm amazed how well you could do even for like the distance events with a lot of rest and not actually swimming. You get in and you try to kick and you try to do kind of minimal stuff, but I've had really good success with, even with injured, doing pretty well on a swim meet. So
I was just telling Kelly that before we turned the mics on. It's really true. Rest, as you're older, that rest line makes a huge impact on your performance,
Yeah.
So you can't not rest. I mean, you can't not work out. You got to work out. I got to ask about your family. How do they support you or not in your athletics endeavor? How do you fit that in with being, having a family?
Yeah. Well, they're all adults, so they're out of the house now, so it's okay now. But they all sort of seemed. My daughter told me once that they were all our vacations were always around races, and I'm like, you got a vacation? I don't know what to tell you. We went to San Diego one year. I found that my wife did a bike race on Friday. I did an open water race on Saturday, and then we were biking all week along the coast of San Diego, and the Tour de France was on. We take them to Legoland and all that in the afternoon, and and then the next weekend I found a triathlon to do, and then it was like an 8-day thing, and it was kind of cool. They just think it's all about races, and I guess I'll just have to live with that. But yeah, it's hard to fit things in, and I probably could have been a better parent. My wife, she's a big bicycle. She was like national champion bike triathlon or time trial champion, and
Wow.
she was like the Arizona's fastest female like 6 years in a row. So she was pretty fast. She's done a lot of the longer races, and so we try to one up each other. So that's good. So like she does something painful. She did a couple of years ago, did the Paris race, is like 758 miles in 3 days. And so I do the English Channel. She does that. And then I go do the Catalina Channel. She's doing the Unbound race. It's in Kansas here. It's a 200-mile gravel race. It's coming up in a month or so. So, she might win. I don't think I'm going to do any more painful things. So she might have won up to me. We'll see how it goes.
Do you go and support her when she's racing? Or like the Paris, that's actually not a race.
Yeah, it's not exactly a race, right? Yeah, I mean, I went over there and followed her around and kind of got yelled at by the Parisians. They don't like Americans very much. I didn't get that feeling. But anyway, so I tried to find pools along the way while she was out riding, and I'd get yelled at by the lady because she didn't speak. Anyway, it was kind of traumatic for me, but I got over it. No, yeah, I'm taking the weekend off for her race coming up, and I'll go see if I can help her out a little bit. But
I read in your English Channel crossing that she was there supporting you.
Right. I brought my daughter and her husband out, and they were out there helping too. So
nice. It's nice. So do your kids do sports, or are they just like totally burned out from following you and your wife around?
I had a couple, they all swam to some degree. A couple of them swam where I swam in college. I had 2 daughters that swam at BYU. So yeah, one of them actually swam for the same coach that I had at there, but he retired. So, but yeah, they all swam to a degree, not as crazy as me, but anyway.
I love it. So obviously your sense of humor is one of your, I think I would observe it as one of your gifts that helps you get through tough things. What else can you tell us about your mindset when you're going into, and let's not, because again, mortals are, us mere mortals are not going to probably do the English Channel or Catalina or any of swim around Manhattan, but when you're in a pretty high pressure situation, so you're heading off, next week to swim at the USMS, national championships, almost 2,000 people are in this meet. A lot of fast people from all over the country come. It's probably the most high pressure meet for a master. If you have performance anxiety as a master swimmer, this is not the meet to show up at. And so what is your mindset when you're going into something where you're going to get a little challenged?
I wish I had my mindset now as when I had a kid. When I was a kid, I was kind of afraid of pain, and I was afraid of other competitors, and I don't have that same fear anymore. I don't know if it's life or emergency work, but it's like when somebody shows up with their like dying baby, and you're like, that's terror right there. And I've lived through a lot of things, seen a lot of bad things in the ER that it's like, that's pressure. What me sporting a Speedo at 54 years old and trying to do a time is not really pressuring me anymore. I mean, I've gone through so many things in my life that it's just, it doesn't faze me. I mean, I get nervous, but it's not nearly as bad as when I was younger. I was kind of like, it's hard to compete when you're younger. It's like, there's that guy's pretty fast. I know that guy's pretty fast, or, this is going to really hurt. And the problem with distance people is like, you have to just keep, you don't have any talents. You have to keep going longer and longer. So that gets more and more painful. So that's where I've gone. I mean, if I had any talent, I'd be stopping at the 50, but I had to keep going longer so that I could, do it. So, but that it's kind of hard to get over that pain, that, that mental pain that you're going to hurt pretty bad. So, but I think I've gotten tougher over the years. That's for sure. So with everything that's gone on, I think so.
Do you pay much attention to your competitors? I mean, are you do you pay any attention to your competitors? Are you aware that the guy next to you is, he's going to give you a run for your money?
Absolutely. And I've noticed the ones that are my competitors this year, like, and they've done it a lot lately. They actually like put a lot slower times down. And I'm like, I understand why they do it. I just don't know. I think if you're going to win a national championship, you should come to the big boy heat with the rest of us. But I don't know why they did it. I'm not calling anybody out, but I am. And, so I hear you.
Are people actually doing that? They deliberately do slower times to be in a different heat?
There's a lot of people that are very good that sandbag, and I don't understand. I get it, I guess, if you're like a 50 swimmer and you want clear water, but if you're like a mile swimmer or whatever, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. I like them all. I just don't understand it, and I don't think I'll ever get an explanation out of it. Maybe they just don't want the pressure of it. But it's interesting to me because some of the people that are like, at least a couple of them are like I would say like the best distance swimmers, in like, their body of work is the best of master swimming. And I've noticed that they've done that more recently, and I'm not sure why they're doing that. But anyway, so.
Well, I'm gonna throw in a fellow distance swimmers gripe. So they're mixing us men and women in the mile and the 1,000, which, separates us from who we need to be racing anyway. So maybe the person that, there are some fast young bucks women that are probably going to be in your heat. So they might've knocked you out from being next to the person that you need to race anyway, even if that person was entered with the right time. Yeah. So, I don't get the whole mixing of the genders for this meet.
Yeah, I don't, there's a lot of things that perplex me. I don't know why they don't. I think they're trying, they let you do both, but it's like very hard to do. I mean, last year, I did the 1650 and the 1,000, and it's hard to do that in one day. I mean, going full on a 1650 and then right after, like 2 hours later, doing 1,000, it's pretty hard. And I don't know why. I think that they're letting you do it, but it's like, no one's dumb enough to do it. Not very many people are dumb enough to do it, but it'd be nice if they maybe put one at the front and one at the end. I guess they don't have the time for it. I don't know what they're trying to do, but and then the mixing genders, I could see why a woman wouldn't want to be. They're making a lot more waves and that. So I get that too. And you're not with your competition, but I complain a lot to them, but they stop. I could tell they don't listen to me, so I stopped.
Well, I know at long course nationals, they're having the 800 and the 1,500 on different days, and you can enter them both. So.
Are you sure about that? They usually do. They usually do it. You can only do one of them though when they do that. They are going to let you do both.
It looks like they are. Order of events is out, and they're on different days. So I'm thinking maybe they will.
I don't think they have the rules out because every time they've done
maybe
that,
the rules aren't out.
They don't let you do both of them. I think, but that's what they've done in the past. But I'm sadly not going to make it. I've had to bow out to a family thing, and I'm kind of sad about it. But anyway, it's I'm not going to make summer nationals. So.
Well, I think listening to you, you're so self-deprecating. You use your sense of humor, and I love how you compare real life. Which you're really seeing that some of the ugliest parts of life in the ER and the most difficult parts. But I'd love to know if they're, just real talk. You are a champion. You're doing incredible things, and it's not just good luck, and it's not the M&Ms. What other routines or what things that you say to yourself? What we really want to get your secrets. Come on.
Geez, I wish I could tell you any.
Is it the green?
I really don't mind the secret telling. I just don't know what they are. I really don't. For me, I just show up every day. I don't, and I mean, I have a large bloated penis here, and maybe that's making me more buoyant. I don't know. I just don't
So
know.
you just keep coming
so
back to
I-
consistency. I like that. I'll take that.
I like consistency and showing up. I think
Yeah.
that is definitely a routine. So,
Yeah.
but what do you say to yourself in the middle of this painful? You're going to swim 16:15 next week. So, and it's going to start to hurt at some point where you're going to be in the 40s, and
You're going to want to,
you got 20 more,
or slow
and
down.
you're in pain. What is your inner voice saying?
Well, why do I do this to myself? It's I really like the 1,000 better than the 1,000 better than the mile, because 1,000 you start dying about this 800 and you got only 200, but the mile you die about 1,100 and you got a long ways to go still, and it's just trying to stay with it, try to keep your stroke together, and don't blow up. I mean, it's just gutting it out. It's a tough event. I mean, you wouldn't think 1,000 and a 1650 would be all that different, but it is. I mean, I go totally different paces for both of them, and it's a different. I can put my head around 1,000 a lot better, but a 1650 is just a tough event. You just gotta know the pain's coming and be ready for it, and hopefully you've prepared yourself, and the person that's sandbag next to you that's gonna now come by you. There's nothing worse than getting in a long distance event where you went out too hard, and this guy just comes right by you, and you're crying like a little baby. But you just gotta stay with it. That's all. I don't know. You just gotta stay with it and just try to stay with your stroke and everything.
Is there anybody you're trying to impress when you get out of the pool? Is it your wife or your coworkers or is there anybody you're thinking about, like, I gotta do decent on this, because otherwise I'm gonna be, have to hang my head?
I mean, I do it. I mostly do it for myself. It's always every year. It's like, I go nowhere near what I can do in a race and workout. Like some people, I don't know, they talk about this high intensity training. I've never been able to do it. I have never been able to come close to it. If I did a 500, like hard in workout, I might be able to go like a 530, 525, but I one of probably very few 54 plus year olds in the world that can go under 5 minutes in a 500. And I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is, but it's like, so every time I go into a meet, I'm like, is this the time I'm going to blow up and suck and like do what I think I can do? Like I never think I can do what I can do when I end up doing. Like I'm amazed by it, because I like anytime I work out, I just don't even come close to anything so I just expect that I'm going to go that fast, but I have never done anything in workout to say that you should be able to do that time. So it's always amazing to me. And there's a little bit of fear in me every time I go to a meet. It's like, this could be the time that I just like totally make a fool on myself, because it's like I entered this time and I go like a minute slower. So.
Oh, that's so funny. So you're racing for yourself. So just in kind of a nutshell, how do you taper or recommend tapering for a mile? Because we do, even if people aren't swimming a mile at nationals, they swim a mile maybe in open water, or they're training, they're doing a mile time trial to prep for their triathlon. If you're a week and a half out now, what are you going to do between now and nationals?
I don't do a lot different because it's a mile. I've been doing the same taper for like 20 years. Chris Houchins, I went to the high altitude camp in Colorado Springs one year, and she had it printed out. She coached for Indianapolis. She had a printed out taper, and I've used that like multiple times a year. And it's not necessarily for a mile, but for some reason it still works. Like I do some broken 200s, 10 seconds rest, and I don't do anything long really. And it seems it gives me but I think during the year I do a lot of just more like kind of distance-ish work. And so I think you just don't get out of shape, but it helps me just get the speed, the broken 200s and those kind of things, to get the speed for everything. So I don't do anything special for the mile, but it does, it seems to translate, and you don't lose a lot of shape. Just, you wouldn't think it would work for that, but it seems to have been working for me.
What's a broken 200? Just so
you'll go like 450s and you take like 10 seconds rest. So you're kind of, you're high intensity, but you're only, so you're taking only 10 seconds rest in between. Then you just add your time, and that would be your time for a 200. I'll put like flippers on just to get it. So pretend like I'm faster than I really am. And it helps, kind of a predictor of what you could maybe do a 200 in. So.
Cool. Has there ever been any huge obstacles in your life?
The last 2 years have been sort of chaos for my family. We've had so many, my family had to move, my daughter had to move in with us with her kids, and my wife she did a 24-hour bike race, and, it was head injury, clavicle fracture, scapula fracture. My other daughter was getting abused by her husband, and then COVID hit, and, we lost a lot of shifts. So I was not working a lot, and I ended up losing my job. That's kind of how I ended up moving here. And it's just, I think there was 2 obstacles that I had going through that last few years. I think maybe everybody went through a lot with COVID and everything, but the 2 obstacles, I think one of them is like the people I worked with. I worked with them for 24 years. They're my friends. They were my friends, at least. They kind of turned on me, and it's like, it's hard to get that sort of that justifiable anger out of your head. And you could go at a religious sort of standpoint and say, oh, Jesus told us to forgive 70 times 7, so we should do that. But, you just want to hold on to it. And those people that you feel like betrayed you, they haven't given you a second thought. But what it's useful for is to get that out of your head. You have to forgive them, because to move on, I've never had to do this. It was very hard, because it's like, they don't think about me at all. And I just was thinking about them every day and wishing cancer on them or something bad, and I'm just like, I got to get this out of my head. Like I just got, and so the obstacle by itself is is something you overcome. It's just like a process. But that was one of the obstacles I got with that. And then the other obstacle, I think, with that was this feeling of inadequacy, like I'm not good enough. People don't want me anymore. And the spiritual side of me said, okay, God, you're son of God. God loves you. And, just turn it over to God. My intellectual side said, you need to get away from people that don't believe in you and hate you or whatever they are. You got to be patient with yourself. You got to be, you got to be persistent, but you try to be better, but be patient with yourself. And then kind of my primitive self, I think that swimming helps that, because it's like, I want to get my mojo back. And I just, I want to go, so instead of going and punching somebody, I think I trained a lot harder last year. And I think 2021 was probably my best year. I'm not sure anybody's ever done a pool and a long distance all-star in 1 year. I think I had 3 number 1 world rankings last year and 14 top 10. I had 14 pool and all open water national championships. At nationals last year, I won overall for the mile, and then at the San Antonio open water, I won overall for both the mile and 3 mile. It helps me. It helped me get out of that, the sort of the primitive side. So there was a spiritual side and intellectual side, and I don't think I intentionally went through all that. But looking back on it, I think that's kind of helped me. What I went through to get through those problems.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's
intellectual and primitive. Yeah. Almost physical.
Definitely. Yeah. You put a lot of that power into your swimming, which is, what we just interviewed Amanda Coker our last episode on her riding. She rode 237 miles a day for a year, Kurt, and broke the world record, men's and women. And she was, similar
That's some sore
things.
Lady bits, by the way.
Yeah. No kidding. But
I got to hear that from my wife all the time. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's hey, we hear you. Maria rides great recumbent bikes. Which
I was going to say, Amanda did some of it on a recumbent. Your wife could also go recumbent. That's great.
Yeah. Cruise bikes are great recumbents, but no, I mean, but anyway, we find that champions like you and Amanda have that driving. Something deeper. Amanda was bullied. She was coming back from being overweight. She had a lot driving her like you did. So I love that as a takeaway, that sometimes when you're getting dished up just a crap sandwich, you're going to eat it and produce something really nice. That's powerful.
When I was angry, I did some of my best events ever. I mean, truly angry when somebody had truly offended me in a big way. I was an amazing athlete, or I was upset because, my sister got cancer, and just like, I love the division between spiritual, intellectual, and primitive. I think that's so on point. I've never heard anybody elucidate it that way. It's really good.
Okay, now it's the fun stuff. We got to get you to a
we gotta get 'em
nap,
outta
so
here.
you got to get you out of here. But this is actually called the sprinter round, and I know you are a distance person, but I saw that you have gone like 24 in the 50 free. Come on, you can sprint. And that's now. So I don't even know what you went as a kid, but I know as a 54-year-old, you're going in the 24s. So that is it.
One time in college, they put me in the 50, and I beat all the 50 swimmers, and they were all pissed off at me the rest of the day. Like, it was a dual meet, and I put them. They were all sad. They thought they were going to take me, but anyway.
Well, there is definitely something that you got to have some type of speed to be able to hold on for, that kind of pace. But all right, so this is the sprinter round. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay.
Go.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Red or blue?
Red.
Milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
It's an abomination. Dark chocolate is abomination. Milk chocolate.
Totally agree. Milk, of course. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Football or baseball?
Baseball.
iPhone or Android?
Android. That's just because I'm poor. I don't have anything against the iPhone. I'm just poor.
We're Android too. Maria and I, you're the only other person on the planet. Coffee or tea?
I don't drink any of that stuff.
Wow. That's interesting. No caffeine?
Well, I'm LDS. You've heard that? Yeah, we don't drink coffee, tea.
Oh,
alcohol,
gotcha. Okay.
No alcohol, no caffeine of any kind.
Okay. Morning
M&Ms are okay.
Yeah, they're okay. That's my vice.
There's some caffeine in that. There's some caffeine
probably
in
is.
those M&Ms.
I'm a hypocrite.
Morning person or night owl?
Neither, man. I'm right in the middle. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If I could work that shift, I'd do that all day, every day. Don't have to get up too early. Don't have to stay up late.
Right in the middle.
Either.
And it's only 4 hours, so.
Yeah, I would go straight through. I wouldn't take lunch or anything. Just 10 a.m. to 2. I was no lunch.
I love it. All right, Maria's got some for you.
Favorite color?
I used to think I was a red guy, but I think I'm an orange guy. I wanted to be red, and I'm like, no, I think I'm orange. Took me a long time to get there.
Yeah, my husband is orange.
Yeah, that's a rare favorite color, but I like it. Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Favorite vegetable?
I don't think it exists.
Potatoes. They're vegetables.
Does that count? Okay, potatoes, then I would do that.
God.
Become a sour cream
and
butter.
Yeah. Favorite swim complex in the U.S.?
I've always liked Texas. I think that's one of my favorites.
Which is there? Should I know what you mean when you say?
Oh,
that?
University of Texas. Yeah, my brother swam there, and I went there and swam there one summer, and it was fond memories.
What kind of music do you like?
My favorite is like Joe Jackson. You ever heard of Joe Jackson?
Yeah, I love Joe Jackson.
Going out with him.
Yeah.
Nice. Shoe size?
Yeah, my shoe size 12.
Okay. Do you have siblings? Yeah.
Six of them.
6. Yeah. A favorite Star Wars character?
I might disappoint you with this, but I can't stand the whole Star Wars Enterprise.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. When the first one came out when I was like 10 years old, and I was like, I was like, it's okay. Why are we going to this 10 times? I don't understand.
Can you cook?
I mean, I make a mean waffle and a mean raspberry crepes. I do some breakfast items that are pretty good, and I would challenge anybody.
Okay. What word comes to mind when you first dive in the water?
I mean, I don't know if it's a word. It's just a relaxation. That's my zen there. When I jump in, that just glide, and you're just like, I don't know if I get a word in my head that it just feels, peaceful and relaxing.
Sort of maybe glide. I like that.
I like
great.
Zen.
That's great.
Zen works too. Oh, Kurt, this has been so awesome.
So fun.
So fun. Really appreciate your time, and just wish you all the best in everything you're doing in the pool, out of the pool, with your family, and
go out
just
there
thank
and
you. Thank you.
Win.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this Champions Mojo Encore episode. If it inspired you, please follow the show, share it with a friend, and consider leaving a quick review. It truly helps. And don't forget, my new book, False Cure, is available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I'll be back in January 2026 with all new episodes to help you live well, swim well, and keep your mojo going.